Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Somerset Sports Talk. I'm Gary,
I'm Jack.
and this is a presentation of Somerset County Recreation, Parks, and Tourism, and we are here to give you our 2 cents or 1 cent, depending on what
All
ours
fresh,
is worth.
2024.
Oh, that's right, brand
Ready
new
to
year.
go.
Brand new year, same bad opinions.
Coming off the up. Don't remind me.
Yeah,
You trounced me, you dog.
I hope
I
everybody.
trounced myself.
Hope everybody
can't
had a
pick a
good
thing anymore.
new year, and now we get back to business, and we're going to get back to business talking about football, obviously.
Football? Is that around? Is that around? What's going on with football?
Yeah, is season just started?
I just got out from under a rock.
Yeah, and we're gonna start off real quick with college football, just because it's over now.
College. Yes.
And Michigan wins the national
Michigan won.
championship.
How about that?
Is there an asterisk?
I did actually pick them to take it for some reason.
Yeah.
But is there an asterisk? You talking about the problems that
They had a few
went on?
scandals.
Jim had to sit out for a few
Yeah,
games?
only 6.
It's really quite a remotivational thing that all went down and they still
Yeah.
were undefeated and
Yeah.
made it through. So he's quite a motivator. It might be a cheat too, but he's quite a motivator for those kids. So
And he's done a good job. But like when he first got there, it took him a while to get it going.
well, yeah.
And like I thought there was talk for a while that he might be on the way out, but then he turned it
But
around.
you look
the
at
last
the
couple
teams.
Years.
I mean, during that stretch, geez, Ohio State had some great teams, some great players, NFL players
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know, Georgia really came on. Clemson was in it at the beginning of his tenure. I mean, you had some really tough teams to get to that final
Right.
win place that he finally was able to get to. But this was their year. You know, it was it seemed destiny. Plus, they beat Ohio State 3 years in a row
Yeah, that'll
in the
get-
regular season.
That gets an Ohio State coach on the hot seat.
Oh, doesn't it? That's some serious
don't like
bad,
Yeah.
karma for that dude for losing those games.
And it was good football. I mean,
It was good.
I thought the
Yeah.
whole
Tell you the
tournament game,
the semifinal
were good.
games were great.
Yeah, I thought they were really good.
They were exciting, high scoring, man, back and forth. It was really
And
it
I
was
thought-
entertaining football.
I thought that the final would have been. I watched a little bit of it, and I think kind of a big difference was the Washington running back hurt his ankle, like in the first or second series,
Mm-hmm.
and he came back in, but he wasn't the same.
Wasn't the
runner.
same guy, yeah.
And I think that kind of threw their game plan out of whack a little
That's
bit.
what happens in those big games. Somebody gets a little,
Yeah.
nicked up, and then just changes the dynamic.
But then you fall behind like 14-3 early.
Yeah.
That changes your game plan
Sure.
a little bit too. But
Well, it shows you the
I think-
importance of defense
Yeah.
in winning championships.
Yeah.
That if you can keep the other team from scoring, even if you're a little banged up, you can still stay in the game.
yeah,
If you
and
get
it's,
behind, it's tough.
it's a credit to Michigan though.
Yeah.
They did, and I hate saying that
I know, right?
coming from Wisconsin, because all they did was whoop us when I was a kid growing up.
Right.
And
Well,
but they to go without your head coach for 6 games,
Yeah.
and either that says a lot about Michigan or very little about the Big Ten.
so will their quarterback be that sleeper dude that maybe makes it in the NFL or even gets drafted? I mean, he wasn't on the top of anybody's list for sure. So
I don't know how well he can
but
throw.
yeah, there's the
because
issue.
they ran for 300 yards
yeah,
in that
that's
game.
right. So that's
and,
true.
And like everybody, I was listening to who we both kind of listen to and
Yeah.
respect a lot, Dan Patrick, and they were saying that, like everybody was saying, he's like the greatest Michigan quarterback ever.
Who? The guy?
McCarthy.
Oh, McCarthy.
Was there
yeah.
right now.
Well, that's because Harbaugh decreed that.
Yeah, and I'm
Even
like,
though Harbaugh had better numbers, I did see that stat.
Harbaugh was a good college.
he
He
had
was
a
a good
better.
quarterback.
He had more touchdowns, more
Yeah.
yards, and everything. But
Yeah.
for some reason, I guess he just
He thinks that he
the
is.
leadership
And
element.
but then they're saying, who is that one quarterback at Michigan that really stands out?
Yeah,
They were all a lot of kind of
Right.
the same guy.
sure,
They're talking about, I guess Chad Henne has a lot of records.
right.
I always thought Elvis Gerbach was a pretty
Yeah,
good quarterback.
he was. Great name.
But yeah,
I love his name.
we'll get to
Gerbach.
names later. But then,
Yeah, right.
But then there was those type of guys. Greasy was, I don't think he was an outstanding quarterback,
Yeah.
but he was a good quarterback. Brady didn't dominate, so.
Well, they play in that league where it's just, hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Okay, are you on?
Yeah, we are. You want to be on?
You want to come on?
Come and say hi to everybody.
No, thank you. Pass that to you, Gary.
Oh, that's Cooper's. He just went
Oh,
to
he just
get
went
it.
looking for it. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Well, Michigan's always had that Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
They're ground and pound and
Yeah.
throw when you can and
3
big
yards.
athletes. Just
3 yards in a cloud of
that's
dust.
pretty much the style of that team, and it worked for this year.
Yeah.
It
Dan.
really did.
So give them credit.
Yeah.
The one thing I do want to say, because I see this every time I see a picture of Harbaugh on the sidelines. He has that hat down, and,
Yeah.
and he's got the glasses, and it looks like Woody Hayes. And you know how much Ohio State and Michigan hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, why is he looking like Woody Hayes on the
Isn't that
sideline
something?
from
Yeah.
Michigan?
Ah.
Because he's got the hat down, he's got the same frames of glasses and stuff. To me, it's like, yeah, that's the same guy.
There was I was just watching a little bit of on ESPN, and the first pro job that Jim Harbaugh got, this guy hired, I can't remember his name, Lombardi was his name. Anyway, so he said that he'd hired John for offensive coordinator, and then he needed a quarterbacks coach or something, and so he hired Jim, so he had them at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was like both of their first jobs in the NFL.
Wow.
And but he just remembers that of the two, Jim was the fiercest competitor
Oh, yeah.
he'd ever seen.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he still brings it.
Oh, yeah. He
And that
still
translates
does.
to those kids, because that's a long season, doing school and trying to, do all the things they do and keep them all
Yeah.
focused, and that's no easy task. Is he going to stay?
Well, we might get into that a little bit later on
Okay.
when we're talking about
There's so
some
much
things.
to talk about.
Because the
How
college
many coaches
moving
and
in
all
there.
this stuff, my gracious.
So let's
What a
jump.
week. What a day.
Well, yeah.
Yesterday was just a crazy day.
And we'll talk, first of all, before we talk coaching changes, we'll talk about the regular season. It just, I think there was a lot of movement at the lower end.
Yeah.
The upper end,
Pretty much went according.
there was only one major move, and that was the Bills
Bills got
beating
back.
Miami, so they
Yeah.
got the second seed.
Yep.
And Miami
Forced
jumped
Miami to
on
go to
the-
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Not be at home, which is a big deal. Because of the weather issue, probably.
Yeah, so yeah, the Dolphins dropped all the way down to number 5.
Yeah.
Number 6. I'm sorry, the number 6 seed. So,
They said Tua never played in cold weather his whole life.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do if you're not used to doing it.
yeah.
Plus, it affects everybody's performance. So.
And that's what they always make it sound like there's some, and I guess there is some advantage if I lived in northern Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's.
So same weather as the Packers
You
had.
get acclimated.
You do get a little acclimated, but it was still cold when you went
Oh,
outside.
still everybody doesn't like cold.
Yeah, I mean the only
That's
thing
for
is
sure.
you wake up in winter, you know it's cold.
Yeah, I know.
So you know
What
when you go
I can't-
outside it's cold.
What I can't understand is how the kickers kick the freaking ball with
Oh, it's harder
It's
than a rock.
so hard.
And then, do you remember the guy? The guy who used to do it barefoot.
Barefoot, yeah.
Was that Tony Frisch?
Oh, could have
I
been.
can't
You're-
remember.
You're going back where I can't go. I don't have that memory now.
But yeah, the one guy
but he
used
did.
to
He had
kick
a barefoot kicker.
I'm
Whew,
like, why?
crazy.
Why?
Yep.
So
Well, anyway, we'll see. The
So-
playoff football usually the field goals are big,
yeah,
so that weather is going to
Yeah.
be a big difference as,
And then-
as far as that goes.
yeah, and we can jump into it. I do want to say that we have a new listener, watcher, person who wants to be a part of what we're doing.
Okay.
His name is Aiden Lowy, and he texted me and wanted to know what we were going to talk about. And I kind of gave him a rundown of what I was thinking, so he sends me all of this.
Nice.
And I know he'd like to be here to join in the conversation. But
Where's he
throughout
live?
this, He's in Norwich, New York.
Oh, he's a little bit far away to come.
Oh yeah, it's a long day trip. But I just wanted to say, Aiden, thank you for helping. We always enjoy feedback and people
Well, this is
participating.
new to me, so
And I will,
let me hear what he's got to say.
I'll throw in his stuff
Make
as we
us look
talk with
stupid.
ours. But we'll start with the NFL playoffs, and then we'll get his
right.
take on some stuff.
all right, we can do that.
So we've got
Playoffs, we are here.
the Bills and the Steelers,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got the Chiefs and the Dolphins, and the Texans and the Browns.
Right.
So what do you like coming out of there?
Well, so the first game is the Texans and the Browns, right? On Saturday. So that's where I'll start. It's in Texas, right? Because they won the division. I think it's going to be a fascinating game from a lot of different perspectives. Quarterback obviously being number one on both sides. Because Flacco came out of, literally off his couch, and basically rescued the offense for the Browns the last 6 or 7 games that he was in, and he threw some monster balls and touchdowns and had some great plays. But I also heard that he had 9 interceptions and has turned it over 14 times and fumbles and other things. So it's a playoff game. He's got a history of being a pretty good performer in playoffs, obviously, with the Ravens. And will he step it up and continue to be on point? If he's on point, doesn't turn it over, I think the Browns win. I just think they're a solid team defensively. They're gonna hound C.J. Stroud more than he's going to want to be hounded. I think they're going to be mightily into this game. There's going to be a lot of energy for the Browns, because they haven't done anything and they've been maligned for so long, and their saviors on the sideline, and yet there they are anyway.
Yeah.
Which is amazing how that's all kind of flushed out. I'm hoping C.J. Stroud has a good game, because it would really be a final kind of checking his box
Well,
for
he'll be
a great
rookie of the year.
season. Oh my goodness, it's got to be. I know Nakua, he's the other rookie.
Oh
that's
yeah,
in it.
set
But,
rookie receiving records.
and they got a playoff game too, so who knows how that's all going to go.
Yeah.
But it's exciting to have such a talent the first year do as well as he's doing.
Right.
Particularly with other talented first year players over the last 2 or 3 years. Fields struggled, Bryce Young struggled this year. They throw him in there. If they'd done the same thing to Aaron Rodgers, who knows if Aaron Rodgers would have turned into be Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And look what Jordan Love has done.
Yeah.
That's your man.
That's my
He's
man.
developed. I tell you, I was so far on the other side of the Jordan Love, parade, as is now being shown,
Yeah.
that it stunned me. I heard his numbers, and he was, wow.
He's thrown as
But-
well as the top quarterbacks
But
in the
we'll
league.
get there in a second. So, CJ and Flacco, I think, without crazy turnovers, there's always turnovers. That's why these games are so hard to predict. I think it's a very even matchup. Texas got a very good defense. They got good special teams players. They got good big play players. It could go back and forth. It could be a 30-28 game. It could be a 17-14 game. It's kind of one of those you just don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
But my gut feeling's telling me Cleveland's going to win.
And I think Cleveland's defense is going to be the difference.
I think so.
I think
They're
going
gonna rise to the occasion.
If Flacco doesn't turn it over multiple times,
Well, there it is.
then the Browns
If
defense.
he can keep his own defense off the field,
Yeah.
and not get tired out,
If they can run.
then they'll run down CJ, and then he'll be forced into doing some things he doesn't.
So I think we're both
So-
picking the Browns on that one.
So that one there, yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, now quick. Also, I forgot to mention my brother Steve, who was a loyal
he
member.
chime in too.
Yep, he sent me what his football picks were.
Oh, good.
he likes.
How's he doing in the pick'em pool?
Well,
is he way up top?
Well, we'll get to that now because I wanted to hit on that.
I want to know what he's doing.
All right.
I'm going to go pick his teams.
We've been picking.
I'm going to go bet on his teams.
My brother, yeah,
He's winning a lot.
my brother runs a pool for our family, and we invited Jack to play with us.
Yeah, I thought I was going to crush.
Yeah, he's
Boy, wrong.
The outsider was going to
Wrong.
show us how to do it.
Yeah.
So the final, Steve won.
Did he? Gosh, he had a
Excuse
good
me.
percentage.
Steve, he picked. He had 175 points, point to win.
Nice.
That's
That's excellent.
yeah. So he won by one.
Wow.
My other brother Mike had 173.
Okay.
So again, he beat me.
Yeah.
That's a bitter pill for me to swallow.
I'm sure.
Um,
You had a good last week.
I did, and between you and I, the battle.
You smashed me last
We
2
battled
weeks.
all
we were tied.
year.
We were tied with
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and then I just
You had 163, and I had 169.
yeah, 6 points.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I get the win there. I'll write that down. Big W.
Yeah,
right there
right.
next to
Go
mine.
ahead.
So
You can saddle me with that for
Yeah.
another season.
so Steve was the best of the family, and I'm trying to find out he likes Cleveland.
Okay.
All
I feel
right.
pretty smart then.
And now I'm going to tell you what Aiden said.
All right.
He wrote a little
Is
paragraph.
Aiden a young person, an old
He's
person?
a young
or-
person.
Young
Aiden
person.
is, I want to say 24, maybe
Oh, okay.
23,
So
24.
another young perspective like Cooper. last time.
Yes, it's
Great.
good to see we get some young
Yeah,
viewers
we
too,
want to hear. I want to hear. It's great that they're
who
interested.
probably know more than us old guys.
Well,
So he writes, the Browns over the Texans. He said, while Stroud is a stud, that team has no playoff experience, and I think it'll show in this game. The Browns with Flacco have been balling out.
Yeah.
I like his terms too.
Oh,
Balling
that's
out.
the vernacular now.
See,
man.
I just say playing well. But so he's balling out.
Yeah.
Pair that with his playoff pedigree. Ooh, forgot that. Joe is a good playoff quarterback.
It's true.
But that's when he, before he came off the couch to play.
Well, that's right.
So
I did mention that in my early
Yes, you did.
assessment that he's got
think
playoff experience and he's won a Super Bowl. So,
I
hey,
think-
will the couch potato element
Yeah,
figure
be a
that,
factor.
to hurt that pedigree? But who knows? That's why you got to play the games.
And then he says, I think the Browns have this in the bag. Then he writes in parentheses, though this would be the most Browns way to end the season
Oh,
if they lose.
he's so right.
It would be a Browns thing. So
I might go Oppo.
excellent insight there by
I might
Abe.
pick them and then bet on the Texas, take the points.
So yeah, I think everybody's kind of thinking the Browns are going to win this one.
Phew. In the betting world, man, that just always worries people. Me, I've learned it's almost I don't say guarantee, but when you hear the world going with one side,
Yeah.
I mean, it happened with Washington that one week where they were going to blast off on the Giants or whoever they were playing, and they ended up losing. It just, you don't know, and that's why they play the games. But that makes sense. I mean, we're all very kind of on the same
Yeah.
page of why he too. So all right, well, what's
All right,
the
let's
next
go.
game?
Let's go Chiefs Dolphins.
Chiefs Dolphins.
Because
So have you
that's
heard the
also
weather?
tomorrow. It's supposed to be cold. I didn't hear how cold.
Well, here's the latest, and this comes from none other than Clint Sterling this morning. He gave me an update. But the snow's rolling in,
Okay.
potentially. The temperature at game time is scheduled to be 5 degrees below zero.
Wow. That's
It's really cold. And I guess there's some little bit of wind involved as well. So, what will it do? Well, it could do everything. It could completely
yeah.
formulate the plan to just pound on the ground and
And it depends. It depends
Yeah.
on how much snow they get.
That's true.
The ground's going to be frozen.
yeah.
So the footing, if you got long cleats in, I don't think it's going to be, unless there's that little bit of moisture on top of the field, that's going to make it slick.
Right.
The running should. Now you're not going to be as fast.
Right.
This slows the Dolphins down a lot.
Well, the Dolphins being banged up,
And
being
Hill,
banged up is
Waddle's
out, and,
Yeah.
and Hill's,
Yeah.
well, he hurt his leg there at the end of that last game. You know, and Tua's played only in warm weather his whole life.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything? Maybe, maybe not. Probably. I mean, people don't adjust to cold very well. We're from up north, and where it's really, really cold.
Right.
You may not like it, but you kind of
You get used to it. Yeah. You know it's cold when you wake up.
And Mahomes has shown that it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, sleeting, whatever. He can still throw the ball.
Yeah.
And Chris Sims was talking about it on his podcast about how Mahomes has just got that strength of the hold on the ball and his ability to flick it, that he can play in that kind of condition and still throw for 250 yards, potentially.
And the thing is, when you look at it like this, say it's 95 in Miami.
Yeah.
They get on a plane, they get off the plane, they're going to play in -5 degrees.
Yeah.
That's 100-degree
Right.
temperature change.
Right.
Like it's weird when you think about it. 100
Can
degrees.
you adjust
difference.
to that, or how long does it take to adjust to that?
Yeah.
And,
So.
I'm sure they'll have plenty of heat on the side.
Oh yeah, they all have those heaters. And
It's not like the old days when they just
right.
sucked it up.
That's right.
and they got frostbite on their toes and hands.
But yeah, I don't know.
So who do we pick? Who do you pick? Got to pick Kansas City.
I pick Kansas City. I think Kansas City somehow, and I think Mahomes will find a way
Always.
to get Kelsey open.
They've had such a bizarre season, and yet there they are at home. You know,
Yeah, and I just think that they're
going to
do something to get Kelsey the ball because
and that
he doesn't trust the other
the-
receivers as much.
The Buffalo game was kind of an indicator of a continuing pattern that Miami's had of not playing well against, not playing a full game. They have great quarters and they have maybe a good half, but they seem to just fall off, make a fumble or an interception, or just something happens and then they get pounced on, and then they're 14 behind in a close game, and then without their explosive players, they can't really zoom down the field
Yeah.
like they have done in the earlier part of the season.
And I think guys will
So-
make some catches here when
Yeah,
they have to,
I
or
mean,
he'll
Kansas-
get at least he'll get it to the guys he knows will
Yeah.
make the catches.
yeah.
Andy Reid will have something in the offense
Something.
to get people open.
I mean, those players have dropped so many balls during the season that
Yeah.
hopefully they got the right gloves or something on that
Yeah.
will make them concentrate.
Yeah.
They won't line up off sides and do all those kind of crazy things that happen during a regular season. I mean, playoff football is really about the mistakes mostly,
Right.
because it's the team that has the fewer execution mistakes that typically does best. I mean, talent will help, but if your talent is doing its job, then, they tend to win.
Yeah.
The ones that got better talent.
But in a weather game, turnovers could happen,
Could happen.
left and right.
Could happen anywhere.
So whoever makes the least
I mean,
amount of turnovers usually wins. And,
a punter could slip and punt it backwards into his own, end zone. You just never know.
or whiff on the punt.
Or whiff.
Like
There's
the guy.
things happen.
Like was it Sean Landetta in that playoff game
Yeah.
at Chicago?
Yeah.
The wind was so
Yeah,
bad.
blew it right
Just
out.
missed it.
so it'll be an interesting game. I
Yeah.
mean, weather definitely is going to be front and center on that.
All right, Steve likes the Kansas City Chiefs.
Here we go. Everyone's on the Chiefs.
And here's Aiden. He's like, Chiefs over Dolphins, even though the Finns have the most explosive offense in the league, which they probably do. Without Waddle, potentially, they seem very predictable. The weather will also be a factor. Possible negative temperature will slow their speedy offense down, which I agree. The weather,
Exactly.
the turf
He's
will
on
do
it.
that. The Chiefs has been struggling as of late, but you can never count out Patrick Mahomes, especially in the playoffs. The cold may affect them as well, but I think Pacheco will tear the Finns up on the ground, especially with Bradley Chubb out. That's a good point.
Pacheco is going to be a big piece of
And Chubb is out.
And Chubb is out.
That hurts their
Chubb is
defense
out.
up front.
Yeah.
So I think we all like Kansas City.
Yep.
All right. Now we got Steelers and Bills.
Another weather game.
But I see this as, it's probably, in my opinion, might be the biggest lopsided
Potentially.
score.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But
The Bills
let's
are
just put
playing
it,
well.
It should be.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've bet on the Bills should be 4 or 5 times in the last 3 years, and man, I got hurt. I tell you, you know, the thing you think just can't happen flips, and it happens, and you say, how can that happen?
Yeah.
Now, where I think it's going to be different on the game today or Saturday or Sunday, whenever they're playing, is they've gone through that downturn, that period where they seem to always just do the weirdest stuff in those games they should win. They made it just every game was a playoff game. It's reminiscent of the Giants back in the day when they had to win every game, or the Patriots had to win every game, or even Tampa Bay had to win every game. You know, with Brady getting into the playoffs, you get on that roll, and I think there might be there where they're still got that momentum.
Keeps it going, yeah.
And Pittsburgh once again by hook or crook, and other teams losing at the last second, and this. What's his name coming into quarter? I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. The third string quarterback.
Rudolph.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph.
He's had some good games, and at least being, management wise, he's done better than the others have done up to that point. So I just don't see where the offense is going to come from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Even though they've played better when they changed their OC.
It's true. That's true.
You got your third string.
Then you got special teams, and that's the thing. Pittsburgh, those special teams can change games in a heartbeat.
And here's a difference breaker: is T.J. Watt's not playing?
He's not going to play. That's a big deal.
One man can cause a lot of havoc.
He's a big piece of that pie, sure.
Yeah, so that's going to make the difference.
So he was day to day, but he's already been declared out.
I've heard he was ruled out. So
well, that's football. A lot of those scenarios happen.
Okay. So, so I think it's going to be the Bills.
Yep.
You do too.
Yep.
And we'll see what...
Too much consensus. We need a contrary pick. But this really should be the way the wild card
We're not going to get one here. Yeah.
It
should kind of be...
This should be...
This round should
one
be...
of those weeks where the favorites...
It should be chalk.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So parlay time, baby. Here we go.
Aiden says Bills over Steelers. Bills are a much better team all around. Steelers shouldn't even be in the playoffs. And Tomlin should be fired. What do you really mean, Aiden?
Wow.
That's
He's on that side, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
T.J. Watt going down just hurts their chances of making Josh Allen rush. But without Watt, the Bills will get in a groove and blow the Steelers out of the water. All right. He gets the Bills and
he's on it.
Tomlin being fired.
There's no hesitation.
I want to try to circle back to this Tomlin thing now. If he gets fired, but even if he doesn't, when we talk about the coaches.
Well, wow, yeah.
All right, so let's go NFC. We got what? We've got Cowboys Packers.
Now back in 2000, when was Dak's first year? 2015.
I can't remember.
2015, I think. Because I was at another golf course and I was in the pool. I was in the playoff pool, and Dak had come in, fourth round, and nobody thought he could play, and had this monster season. And they went 14-2 or whatever it was, and they're playing the Packers, and of course, you got Rodgers just band-aiding it together the whole season, and they're in the wild card position, same thing, first round, and that was the year that the Patriots ended up winning, because I was the only one that picked the Packers in my whole group in that first round to beat Dallas, and they did. So here we are, not with Aaron Rodgers, but his successor, and Dak is back in the same situation. Now and I think that one was in Dallas too. As a matter of fact. It had to be, because they were 14-2 and they won the division. So, wow, a little bit reminiscent of not that long ago.
Comes back.
And those things with athletes, they can sit there and maybe come up and start, being a little bit of a problem for the Cowboys, particularly if they don't jump and get on, a lead early on. And boy, Jordan Love has just become a very solid quarterback, and Matt LaFleur is he's now got it. He can see the progressions. He can wait for the reads to get there, and he's got a cannon for an arm. And he's been winning games. They haven't been winning by a lot. I mean, I'll have to tell you, because that's your team.
Yeah.
But they've been winning, and they've been winning enough. And I would have never, ever thought they'd be in the playoffs this year. I would have put them down and said, maybe after
Top
Jordan
5 pick.
gets get a new quarterback and move on, because I don't think he's the guy.
Yeah.
Boy, was I proven wrong. Good for him.
Me too. I thought they were going to end up getting a top 5, top 7 pick because they didn't look good.
But they turned it around.
Yeah.
And they won some against some decent teams along the way. Not great teams, but decent teams. So I smell a little upset here.
Uh-oh. You going Packers?
I hate Dallas, so I'm going to pick the Packers. I'm going to be rooting and jumping up and down and screaming if they get ahead. I can tell you that. I'm going to be on your side. Are you picking the Packers?
Well,
Are you going to stay with the home team, or are you going to go with logic?
I have to look at this analytically and not with my heart.
Okay. Good luck. Go for it.
I would love to see the Packers
I would love to
win.
beat you in this round with you picking Dallas.
I'm picking Dallas.
All right.
I just think that
Oh, I so hope Green Bay wins.
the Packers are still a little young,
Oh, no
and it
question.
shows at times.
No question.
And I, like many other Packer fans, think that the defense just isn't good enough. And
Well, then you have the coaching side where McCarthy is, there's a little bit of who knows what's happening with him if he doesn't win the first round or even the second round.
yeah,
So, he could
there's
feel the pressure.
there, yeah. But
And he's been known to make a little bit of problems with game management.
don't I know it?
And at the end of these kind of games, you got every second you got to be precious and on
Yeah,
it, because it can be the difference.
But I just think I'm not very high on the Packers defense.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of first round picks on their defense,
Yeah.
and you couldn't tell. They just,
I know.
for whatever the reason, a lot of people think it's the scheme. I tend to agree. I just don't think that they're
Well,
as talented as
if Dallas
first-round
plays
picks.
like they play at home, it will be a tall task
Yeah,
to keep up with them.
yeah.
Because Dallas could play.
Got some weapons.
They could play 45 on any team in
Yeah.
that stadium,
Yeah.
regardless of the defense. If Dak's hot,
CeeDee Lamb.
if CeeDee's, and he's separating from the defenses.
Yeah.
They've called him the best receiver in the league right now. Although watching Justin Jefferson, that guy's pretty good too.
Yeah.
But but then Pollard had a sub season on his running, and they've thrown. I mean, there were games that Dak was throwing 40, 50 passes.
Yeah.
They just gave up on their running game. So
And here's
We'll see.
the key matchup is Jair Alexander, Packers cornerback, and CeeDee Lamb.
yeah,
Who wins that battle? Because
Yeah.
if you're the highest paid cornerback in the league, you
Yeah.
should be on their best receiver.
right,
Or the matchups where those two are together, who wins?
right.
And
Well,
I'm not a big fan of
sometimes
Alexander,
against-
so
Sometimes against those kind of great, receivers and strong potential big play teams, they've kind of schemed these zones and these different looks that can be effective and get in the heads of the receivers, and then they don't quite perform as well,
Yeah.
or they try too hard, or they get frustrated because they're not getting the ball because they're not open, and so there's possibility something like that. That's what Belichick used to be so great at,
Right.
with his Patriot teams when he had great players, is that he could scheme against a particular team and make things very difficult for
right,
them.
yeah.
So it's why the playoffs are so fun, because there are the best teams. They should
Yeah.
play a certain way,
They should be good games.
and it should be a good
Should
game.
be.
So
Aiden says he likes the Cowboys over the Packers. Cowboys defense will suffocate Jordan Love, and the experience of Dak will carry them to a win. Packers are frisky, which is why I think they have a chance. But if I had to choose, I'm taking the Cowboys.
I like his style.
Yeah?
I wish you were here live. We could have
Frisky.
a nice back and
Oh
forth.
yeah. All right, so that next takes us to the, and we're gonna go Bucks Eagles next
Bucks Eagles. Wow. Think about this
in
game.
Tampa.
Now this is the game that could go either way. It could be a fantastic game or it could be a complete dud. I think Philadelphia's going to show up.
I do too.
I think that for whatever reason they've been just in a bad way. But Tampa is hurting. They've got players that are injured. Hell, the Baker. I'm a Baker fan. I've always been a Baker fan. I think his energy and his charisma are just great.
Yeah.
And he's in a great system down there, and he's fit very well. And I mean, he plays
So far, it's been a
hurt,
good,
and they know that he dives for first downs, which I just can't stand a player that does that of his importance to
Right.
the team. But he wants to win, and that's his way, so he continues to do it. But Tampa Bay's not scoring points. And Philadelphia has scored a lot less points than they did. And they've had some injuries,
Right.
with their receivers. And also Hurts is hurt. And that lingers. And I
Hurts-
don't know exactly what part of him is hurt. But he doesn't throw the ball downfield like he did last year.
Yeah.
Because, he had an evolution where he was kind of iffy whether he was even an NFL-level quarterback when
Right.
he first got in the league.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's there, and then he worked really hard in the offseason, and then last year he comes out and he's throwing dimes and throwing these beautiful flat passes and standing in the pocket and not running and so on and so on. But he's not been able to do it this year. He's not running nearly as because I think he doesn't want to get banged up. So, and they've been losing these games they should win. My gosh. They just packed it in against the Giants last week.
Yeah.
They were down 24-0 at half. So killed my for sure 5-game parlay. I won 4, and they were the ones that lost me. And that's for the second year in a row in the last game of the season. Thanks, Philadelphia. I was trying to be a fan. So we'll see. But I think it's in Tampa, so the weather issue shouldn't be anything. I'm liking Philly.
I like Philly. I think they're gonna. You wanna, in your mind, you say they're gonna bounce back. In reality, they may not.
They may not.
Because
you would have thought
But yeah,
going into the playoffs at least
couple
last
games.
week.
Yeah.
Now, I guess maybe they didn't play all their players because I was hearing differing, philosophies about that game. Washington against Dallas was pretty much a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
And if Dallas wins, then they get the division. So maybe they decided to pull the players and they just gave up on the game. But with the idea that they can then zoom it back to the highest
Right.
level come game time
Yeah.
against Tampa.
And it's not always easy to turn.
But I think talent-wise they're
on and
better.
off.
I think offensively they're better.
Yeah.
Defensively, they used to be much better, but they got banged up. Their secondary's banged up, and their secondary was having troubles anyway. Apparently, the defensive coordinator for Philly left and went somewhere else, and they've hurt that.
Yeah.
Or was the offensive coordinator? Geez, I'm the expert. I should know these things, but I don't.
I don't know either.
But so those elements can impact. Just like at Kansas City with Bieniemy going to Washington,
Yeah.
they say that he was kind of a motivator, a big motivator in Kansas City to keep that offense moving and create crazy good plays, and it's not there this year. So those OCs can really have a big impact on what goes on with championship teams for
Right.
sure. So I don't know.
I like the Eagles. I think.
I wouldn't be. I really don't care either way.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of,
Skin in this one.
just emotional or otherwise.
Yeah.
Now that being said, my youngest son's girlfriend, his family is Eagles,
Oh, there you go.
diehards.
Then you have connections.
So I try to root for them. So, but of all the 4 games, that was the one that if I were going to miss one and not be able to watch it, which won't happen because I'll watch it.
Oh yeah.
But that would be the one I could watch from afar, just
Right.
look at the statistics and see how it's going.
Yeah. Well, that's on Monday night.
So, well, everybody will be watching it.
Yeah.
So, I hope they play. I hope the Eagles play well. 10-1
right.
team should not lose in the first round.
Right.
I know 10-1 turned into what? 10-6.
Well, 1-5.
11-6, right?
Yeah.
So
1-5 down the
17,
stretch.
yeah. So 1-5 down the stretch is not very good momentum,
No.
as far as going the right. Plus, Sirianni, he was the king, and then now he's going to be the court jester that they're going to behead.
Doesn't take
if they
long
don't
in
win.
Philadelphia.
They just get rid of him.
Yeah.
You don't win this year, you're gone. So what? We went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
He didn't win it, so who
Well,
cares?
They didn't give a lot of Jordan Peterson.
No, Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson, I mean.
Doug, yeah, he was
won the
short-leased.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hero didn't
Yeah.
last long, so.
It
All right. Steve likes the Eagles,
okay, good. Makes me feel smart then.
and we'll see. This is what Aiden has to say.
Come on, Aiden, bring it to us.
Here we go. He like Eagles over Bucks.
Okay.
It pains me to pick the Eagles because they have been so bad, all caps, as of late. But I think they turn it around for the playoffs.
There you go.
Bucks are too streaky. It all depends if we see the 10-1 Eagles or the 1-5 Eagles, because it's really two different teams.
Man,
he's
he's got
right
it figured
there.
out.
Yeah,
That's a great way to put it.
yeah,
Two different teams. Which one's going to show?
yeah. All right, now we got what do we got left? Lions and Rams, which I think maybe the most entertaining.
Oh,
game
what a scenario!
it's going to be. Yeah,
The trades
Stafford coming
coming
home.
back
Yeah.
and playing each other. And Goff had a pretty good year, not as good a year as last year, but a pretty good year. And I think it comes down to which Goff shows up. Now, it isn't home, so they're in the dome. So his statistical elements are all very strong at that point. The Rams, though, man, they're kind of like the Bills. They just sort of foundered over there on the side. Nobody was really paying much attention to them, and they're playing in the West, and that Seattle's supposed to be great this year, and of course San Francisco was great, but nobody really kind of thought much about them making the playoffs. And when they had a negative record there for a while, and then they started winning games, like Buffalo had to win, all their last few games. Stafford's back. Puka Nacua has turned out to be a star. I think the Rams might sneak up on the old Lions. I really do.
Here's what I think. I think it's the first playoff game in Detroit
Oh, long time.
since who knows when.
Yeah.
I mean, you
40
really
years or something.
in Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah. They've been in the
And
playoffs, but it was always on the road.
But they haven't been in the playoffs in a long time either.
Yeah, that's
But the
exactly
first
right.
one in Detroit.
Yeah. They'll be all
Man,
over. They'll be biting off kneecaps for sure.
It's going to be a loud. The crowd is going to be crazy.
Oh my goodness.
They're going to be respectful at the beginning of the game to
Yep.
Stafford, but then that's
Oh, they're going to lay into him
and then
just like they would any other.
and
quarterback.
Detroit will hear it if Stafford has a good game and they win.
Oh, I know.
You know that they're
Why
going
couldn't you
to
do that when you were here?
yeah, or why did we trade him?
Oh, jeez.
Get mad at the front office, but
Yeah, it's from
yeah,
that angle.
See,
It's got a lot of
I'm going to
intrigue.
have to flip the coin on this one because I really don't know.
I think it's a flip.
I haven't seen the Rams enough
It's
to
a
know how
flip.
they play.
It's a flip. Vegas has them, I think, at a 3-point favorite. Detroit, but that's usually the line
That's
for
why
a
you
home
get 3 at
team.
home, yeah. So that's really
and in the
pickup.
dome, the kicking, is not affected.
matter.
So so it's basically a pick'em game, and it's going to be probably, hopefully, one of those ones that comes down to last kick and potentially even
Yeah.
overtime. Detroit's had its issues of being consistent on offense. Some of that with the away games outside, and there's such a difference in that statistics with Goff. It's that he likes it inside.
Yeah.
He's like Tua. He don't
Yeah.
want to be
Cold.
cold or
Yeah.
wet or anything. He just wants to throw from a dry perspective. But they did have they got an injury. Was it Brown? St. Brown? One of those.
No, Laporta.
Laporta, well, yeah, Laporta was injured the last game, which
That's a big
was a problem
thing.
because they didn't have to. They had already clinched the
Yeah.
division.
Yeah.
But Dan Campbell said, "We're playing. We're gonna win."
That's a
And I don't
philosophy.
mind that, but
that's a
what
philosophy but you live with it now.
you gotta live with.
Yeah.
And
But that's not
Laporta,
always a
wow,
bad
what
philosophy.
a rookie!
Yeah.
He has been phenomenal this
Yeah.
year. So we'll see. They say that the guy, behind him isn't too bad either. But
Right. I'm going Rams.
you gonna take the Rams?
I'm going with an upset here.
I
just,
thought you would go with the Detroiters.
Probably in the other pool I might have picked Detroit, but I've kind of talked myself into the Rams. That they've been playing well. Their running back is giving them production.
All right, just for fun, I'm gonna pick Detroit.
All right, so
Because I think, based on what you said, you kind of were swaying me in that direction, which is why why are you picking the Rams? The crowd, the history,
yeah,
the excitement, all those things. Stafford coming back, the motivation. There's a lot of positives for Detroit, and to win a playoff game at home after all this time,
yeah.
it's almost written by the gods.
Yes.
The football gods. This shall happen to Detroit. So.
But the gods have one big lightning bolt to throw into that party, and that's Stafford coming home to ruin it
True.
for the team that he
But
was playing
Stafford
for.
went and got his prize
Yes.
3 years ago.
Yeah, he wants another one.
And he wants another one. I get, don't they all? But Dan Campbell, I tell you, he is proven to be such a success in his head coaching ways. It's
Yeah.
amazing, really, when you think about it. So good for him.
I'll tell you what, Steve likes the Lions. So,
Oh, I'm so smart, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
There we go, baby. I'm with you. I didn't even know it. I didn't even take a look at it.
I didn't read these to you before.
See,
He likes the
I'm on
Lions.
it.
All right, here's what Aiden has to say. Rams over the Lions.
Uh-oh.
Big capital letters.
That's good. We got 2 and 2.
Game of the weekend right here.
I think he's right.
Yeah. This will be a shootout. Ooh.
Could be. It's got all the potential to be one for sure.
Both defenses are not good.
Yeah.
Even though the Lions defense looked good against Dallas.
Yeah.
Laporta is questionable, and if he doesn't play, that is a huge loss.
Yep.
Stafford and his receivers will continue cooking, and then throw Kieran Williams in the mix. It's just too much for the Lions
That's right.
to handle.
Williams, he's
Yeah,
had a heck
I didn't
of
know
a
his
year.
name, but that's
I forgot
the
about
running
him.
back.
Yeah, he's been
Who's
on
having-
fire.
Yeah.
Which brings an element that is very helpful, to get to the play action and those receivers getting open. It's a big deal. Interesting. Well, we got 2
Yeah.
and 2
So yeah,
for
there
the
we go.
first time for any of the games.
So now, if we play this out, which I don't know if we want to, I think I asked Aiden for his Super Bowl pick, and I'll read it to you what he said.
Okay.
He's got 49ers over Ravens.
Okay.
So revenge game for the 49ers. They got absolutely exposed week 16, and they won't let it happen again. 49ers prove why they were the best team all season.
Right.
And I guess it says they have the MVP hype around Lamar, or the MVP hype around Lamar will just make the 49ers more motivated to crush them.
Mm. Not a bad pick.
So there you go. So I don't know if we want to play this all the way out through the Super Bowl, or we just want to leave it where we are.
Well,
I think I know where our Super Bowl picks are, by the way, from
Do
the
you?
beginning of the season.
You found him?
I didn't find them, but I think they're on a folder on my desk at home.
Oh.
So
Well, I have
I wanted to
no
look.
recollection of what I picked
I
back
think we
those
both
many months ago.
either
I might have
picked-
said 49ers.
we
though.
might have both picked the 49ers or had the 49ers
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure. But
I think I
will-
might have had
do my
Jacksonville in the Super Bowl.
I
went kind of
I hope you did,
wacky.
because I know I didn't.
What a
I either had the Bills or Kansas
what a
City.
disaster
Yeah.
season for them.
Oh no,
But-
I might have went Miami. I might have went.
Yeah,
Surprise team with Miami.
could have been.
All right, so that's all that. So that's the playoff picture of what our picks are.
Yeah.
We took a long way to get there, but that's
So
what we
much
got.
going on.
Yep.
So much going on.
All right, now there's one thing that I want to do, and I want to just see, and hopefully people respond. If you have anything you want to say about what we're doing, the email is ghicks@somersetmd.us. I think this is a generational thing right here. Probably most people know the Saints-Falcons game. Saints are on the 1, line up in victory formation.
Oh, yeah,
No, very little time on the clock.
right.
Gonna run the clock out. They're winning. So, coach calls for the victory celebration, and the quarterback, Jameis Winston, decides to do something else. And Coop, get a chair, pull up.
Oh, okay.
3:15. Just so you
Oh, I'm fine.
know. Okay. You want my opinion?
Well, I got 15 minutes.
It won't be long.
So this is a generational thing. Should they have done it? Shouldn't they have done it? Yes or no? What do you
You
think?
want one answer? One word answer. No.
No. Coop,
There's many reasons why.
slide as close to Jack as you can. So
The
you can
answer
picture.
is no.
That's good.
I'm not letting you sit in my lap.
Hopefully I'm in the
That's
picture
good.
now.
There you go.
Lean back a little bit.
So, welcome, Cooper. He was
What's up,
working.
Coop?
He
He's
was
a working
working.
man.
Yep, and
Chasing
Went all over
money.
the county today, so
he
you know.
just get here. So
When they line up in the victory setup, the defensive team lets up,
right,
and there's potential injury going to happen, and that's respect for the player on the other side. Period. End of sentence.
right,
It's nothing to do with whether the score gets rammed up. It's that they can hurt somebody when he's not ready to be playing
Right.
full speed.
right,
If they were going to run the play, set up in a normal situation,
yeah,
and say, okay, we're going to get this guy who doesn't have one touchdown this year. Boo hoo, boo hoo.
yeah.
He had 17 last year.
Oh,
Who
he
cares?
worked so hard.
I mean, whatever. He's a pro. Christ, he gets the same amount of money.
Yeah.
And if he didn't get X number of touchdowns anyway, he ain't getting a bonus, so who cares?
Yeah, one isn't going to make a
So
difference.
one ain't going to make a difference. So but you know, maybe there was a friendship element that was trying to be, you know, fulfilled, but I think it was just not a right thing to do. And the coach said it was not the right thing to do, and certainly Arthur Smith, he was pissed off,
Yeah,
and he should have been.
yeah.
And he got fired. So now he's really pissed off.
Well, he wasn't fired because of it.
Not because of it, but he had a bad week, like
Yeah,
you said,
that's- yeah.
or a bad couple days. No, you know, that's just inexcusable. Now I heard Jameis interviewed, and why he did it, and you just shake your head because it is a generational thing. You know, is it
Yeah.
okay? You want to please your buddy, but line up in a normal situation. That's all I'm saying.
Coop, what do you think?
You know, I won't bash a former Packer who got a touchdown, but I get it. You want to get your buddy a touchdown because he didn't get one all year. But come on, man, you're up 38-17.
Yeah,
Whatever the score was, like, come on.
It's over.
It's unsportsmanlike in my
there it
opinion.
is.
I mean,
That's the word.
there's no need for that stuff in the game, and I fully expect Jameis to be off the New Orleans Saints team once free agency hits.
I think so.
I-
I think that's a pretty good. bet
I
there.
believe he will probably be out of the league and be playing in the USFL or the
The XFL,
the
or
UFL.
UFL.
The UFL.
There it is. That's
He'll
right.
he'll play there and
Yeah.
do all the fun stuff
That's
he wants
right.
to.
He can line up whatever way he wants.
and Jameson, his point was, they're down by 17 points. What's one more touchdown? What's the difference?
But see, that shows you the unsportsmanlike.
But-
I love that word.
Yeah,
That was the whole thing.
It shows
It's
ignorance.
unsportsmanlike.
It shows ignorance.
right.
I feel like.
It does.
all right. And I'm going to read you what Aiden had to say. He said, I didn't have a problem
Aiden's
with how
been
the
kicking
Saints
ass on the
how the
on
Saints
this.
Falcons game ended. I think that they all wanted to get Williams a TD and were good teammates for it. Always have your teammates back. However, I do not think that they should have lined up in the victory formation. Pretty much what we said.
I didn't even know they lined up in victory.
Oh yeah, they were.
It was set up for the knee.
Fake
Take the
victory
knee.
formation.
It was a fake
Okay.
victory formation.
I don't think there would ever been an issue if they just lined up like they were going to run a play. Saints Falcons is a heated rivalry, and I think this is fuel for the future games between these two franchises. And I'm excited to see what the next season has in store for them, which is
Man.
true. Now, I will tell you what I think. I think it's an absolute joke that they did this. Like, why it hasn't been come out that the Saints has fined him
Yeah.
for that. Because one, you went against your coach's wishes.
Right. That's the main thing.
Why? What? And he said the team
The team decided.
decided. Well, no, the 11 guys in the
Yeah.
huddle decided.
Those guys decided.
The
Even
other-
if they did decide.
The other 43 people
Yeah.
and the coaching staff
they
didn't,
didn't have anything
you
to
didn't
do
vote
with it.
them.
That was, the team didn't decide.
So that's it. Two, and this is to my bigger point. What does getting him one touchdown do? My question is, why didn't he get any touchdowns during the year?
There's the other question.
He had a full chance when Alvin Kamara was suspended for 4 games.
Yeah.
Why didn't he get touchdowns?
Because they weren't scoring any
Right.
touchdowns. That's
So,
why.
so
They were bad
really.
for a while.
So this is going to make his whole year to get a fake TD.
Stupid.
It makes no sense to me. And I know a lot of people believe you got to look after your teammate. That do him, a solid. That's not looking after your teammate.
That should have happened on the sideline.
No, get him a touchdown earlier in the
Or
season.
whatever, yeah. But I'm
That's
saying
looking after your
if
teammate.
they really wanted to do it, then discuss it on the sideline and
Yeah.
create a play that looks
Yeah.
like a play and get them a touchdown.
Or-
a legitimate, because that's an asterisk touchdown.
Hey, coach, timeout. Why don't we run a play for Williams?
There
you know?
it is.
Why don't you do that during the year?
Why not?
But if
Something
he's
like
not
that.
good enough to get a touchdown during the regular season, you're going to run a fake kneel down to get him a touchdown? Like that's supposed to make him happy? That wouldn't make me happy as a player
Yeah.
because I didn't earn it.
It's almost like a pity touchdown.
There it is.
Yeah.
Some
That's
people
right.
might view
Is he proud of that
Jamal
touchdown?
Williams
Yeah.
might view it as a pity touchdown. I mean, he probably was happy at the moment, but
Yeah.
if he thinks
Yeah.
back on it, pity touchdown.
That stuff circles back, like you said. It's
Yeah.
there's nothing good going to come of that
No.
decision.
I just wanted to vent that.
You
Could hear
did.
that's why I put it
You
on
did
the
good.
rundown because I wanted to.
You
just
ramped it
scream.
up a level. That's
yes,
good.
because I can't stand when
Oh,
people do that
yeah.
and they think that it's okay.
Well, what is your feeling about the nose tackle diving underneath the center on
I think
on
that's
the
awesome.
spike? That play's set up.
That's awesome.
That play's set up. Everybody knows what's coming,
Yeah.
and he dives under and he almost catches the ball.
Yeah, I
So
think
anyway,
that's a
it's
good
not the
play.
same, but it's it's one of those you could debate that one too, whether that's appropriate or not.
All right, coaching changes.
Oh, my favorite topic.
We
I
only
didn't-
have 10 minutes
Oh
to go.
man, I didn't miss
We
it.
need an hour.
I'm good. Yeah, we're gonna
There's too much going on.
we'll talk in abbreviated
Well,
sentences.
I'm gonna have to
So,
talk very little then.
all right, let's just go down some of these. Mike Vrabel out of Tennessee.
It's time for him. Time for both to move on. He couldn't get him there. I think one AFC Championship game appearance.
Yeah.
You know, when you're playing Patrick Mahomes in that game, there's not much you could do. But you have the talent, some aging talent. Tannehill's an aging quarterback, and DeAndre Hopkins is a shell of his
They've
former
shown
self.
greatness at times.
Derrick Henry, he's been having an up and down year. It's time for a move on. I think the Titans will go full rebuild this offseason with Will Levis as their quarterback. Good decision by Tennessee. Great.
Do they go young guy coming in, or do they go get a name?
Levis is probably their guy.
No, I mean coach-wise.
Coach-wise. Oh, that's a great question.
I mean, there's going to be
Man.
Well,
there's going to be
There's
plenty,
gonna be plenty.
plenty of all of them.
Yeah.
all that's left are young guys to come in.
Yeah.
By the way,
Basically.
there's not a lot of old hand left.
Well,
I
that's
think
true.
we're seeing
But yeah, Belichick says he's going somewhere.
our generation of coaches
Yes.
are
Yeah.
moving out,
Well, it's remarkable
which is good.
that
you
they.
know.
I mean, look at the age of these
know.
these legends are over
Yeah.
70.
Yeah.
That was
Carroll,
rare.
Belichick.
That
Yeah.
happened. Good for them, and they still want to coach both of them. So
Yeah, Carroll
Well,
out in
somewhere.
Seattle. That shot kind of shocked me.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
a little bit of a shock.
That was a shock.
Yeah.
But again,
He's in the front
winning a
office.
Super
though.
Bowl doesn't give you a lifetime ticket. Just ask Bill Belichick.
That's right.
Winning 6 Super Bowls doesn't give you a
No,
lifetime ticket.
everything ends.
Yeah,
There's a time that it just comes to an end.
and Belichick, while not a surprise, is a surprise.
Yeah, the way it's going to go down.
Yeah.
You would
Right.
think that it would be his last hurrah to stay one more year, give him a chance to just ride it
Yeah.
out,
Or
record, irregardless of the record. But
he wants to retire, which he doesn't.
he does.
He wants to keep
He
coaching.
wants to keep coaching. And apparently, I just saw the news. Did you know that they've already hired Mayo?
Yeah. Hours.
Yeah.
Hours. A day.
And he had it written into his contract.
Yeah. Jared.
So they
Jared
planned this
Mayo.
last
Jared
year.
Mayo
Jared Mayo.
is the new head coach in New England.
They planned it last
Wait,
year.
this could be breaking news if this is the first time you're hearing this.
That's right. Oh yeah. If it is,
Well, you probably won't
where's
hear
that rock?
You won't hear it till at least Saturday, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Because that's when it's probably going to
It's
get
gonna
on
get on the air.
on our channel.
Yeah.
But that surprised me that
The
that had
news
already happened.
Broke
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah.
Really
But it's
surprised.
good. I had heard that rumor too.
Yeah.
That like him, he would be a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the staff.
Right.
He keeps some sort of continuity.
Well, the Patriots didn't
So-
even interview anyone
They didn't
outside
have
of
But
the team.
they're going to have to get a GM because he's not taking a GM position.
I don't know about that. I
Right.
haven't. I heard. I wouldn't think he
Because
is.
the main thing for them now is personnel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the big thing.
It's going to be interesting.
The Commanders, they signed.
They signed Peters from, was it the Peters?
San Francisco.
Adams?
San Francisco. Their
Yeah.
assistant GM. He is now
He's now the man.
the GM. So maybe he's trying to build a talented roster like how.
Well, he did pretty good out
GM
there.
and 49ers did, yeah.
Did pretty good out there. He missed on the quarterback, but other than that, they did okay.
Yeah.
And then-
They got Brock though.
They got Brock out of nowhere. That's
And
right.
then the other big news was the resignation of Nick Saban,
Saban, yeah.
Saban.
which kind of blew me away.
Well, gosh, being a college coach, you got
Yeah.
lots of energy.
You
You know,
do.
they said that he held that in. Nobody knew. There was no leaks.
Nobody knew. Yeah.
Nobody knew.
He,
I heard he was interviewing wide receiver
Right.
coaches, and then when he
Then
was
when
done,
he-
he went in and said, "Hey,
when is it? I'm done.
I'm done."
I'm retired.
I'm outta
well,
here.
he's 72, 3, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Somewhere,
he's
yeah.
up there.
So,
So-
have you seen, there was a 30-30 or some interview where they went to his house. Oh, no, I know what it was. It was Faraday, David Faraday, because he loves golf.
Oh yeah,
And Faraday had an interview at his home. He got a beautiful place.
oh yeah,
Oh,
on the
my
lake, on the
goodness,
lake. I
so
saw.
pretty.
Oh yeah,
And I think he's just got there and he beat, he got to the Final Four when they,
yeah,
most likely when they were 4th and 30 or whatever it was
Yeah.
against Auburn. It looked like it was
Yeah.
over. And they ended up having a chance.
and that's
So-
what they said on the Dan Patrick show.
Yeah,
They said he beat Auburn in his last game.
that's right.
He beat Kirby Smart in
That's
Georgia
right.
in
That's
his
right.
last game,
Yeah.
and he was in the championship playoffs.
That's right.
So,
And
not
he's
a
done it
bad
for
way
so
to
long.
go.
Get ready to go?
Is it okay to close out?
Oh, yeah.
Credit card?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to do it.
No. No problem. You can yell and scream for our
Oh
living,
yeah,
sir.
we're working.
I don't want to be on
This is
TV.
it's a working man's show.
I'll get David's opinion later.
So I'll tell you what I think. Here's what I think. Well, it's too late now, so my plan's ruined. It was Carroll goes to New England,
Back to New England now.
and
I wouldn't say.
Saban stays retired, and Belichick goes to Alabama. Ain't gonna happen, but wouldn't it be cool?
Belichick's he's not a college coach.
No, but yeah.
College coaching is recruiting, traveling, doing crazy stuff for
Well,
parents,
there's-
making.
That's when you make the big
and,
sale.
and the portal now is so the
That's
NIL.
what-
It just
that's
he was
why-
quoted as saying this changed the whole
Yeah.
tenor of the game.
And-
So he's tired of it. I think he's just tired of it. He don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, college football is going to be just a semi-pro league because it's kind of there already.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're looking
This
at
12-team playoffs basically is the same kind of minor league
Yeah.
situation anyway.
And they're
It'll be
looking
all
at-
SEC and
Yeah.
I saw where the
Big 10 or
NCAA
Big
is
12
looking
or
at
whatever.
ways to pay players.
yeah.
So,
And
It's
they're
gonna-
going to have somebody said they're going to need a salary cap.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's going to skew
Well,
the teams to
and
have
there
money
isn't one
versus
now.
don't.
NILs
You can make as much as you need or can or
Yeah.
be given.
and like people in minor sports and probably women's college
Yeah.
basketball can make more.
Sure.
I heard the Reese girl at LSU,
Yeah.
1.7 mil.
Come on. Good
That's
for
what
her.
her. Yeah.
Go.
Caitlin Clark can probably make more now than in the
That's
WNBA.
probably right, too.
Well, yeah, she's on national commercials
Yeah.
for at least State Farm and I think another
Right.
one.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, good. I mean, at least somebody's getting paid
Yeah.
that had been paid over time. But as far as a collective, just the NC2A is crumbling as far as
Yeah.
an organization.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're going to have packed California teams playing on the East Coast and vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
It's just
They'll
crazy.
figure it out.
See you tomorrow.
You're here tomorrow? Okay.
I'm opening
See
tomorrow.
you
All
tomorrow.
right.
Unless
So,
I get it's closed day.
Well, yeah.
a lot of
Then I'll still
changes.
see you tomorrow.
More than likely.
I don't really know a lot of these young coordinators who want to be up for these positions.
Right,
So,
right.
but
Well, one of the
there
more-
is going to be new. Oh, I just real quick.
What about Belichick to Atlanta?
Belichick
I
to
heard
Atlanta's
that.
going
And
around.
Kirk Cousins to Atlanta.
Belichick to the Chargers
3-year
is
deal.
also
3-year deal, because Atlanta's got good structure, but they need a quarterback and they need a coach.
And I think Harbaugh to San Diego.
Harbaugh,
big rumor.
where's he go?
Harbaugh there. Yeah, Belichick and Harbaugh are both
You
linked
know.
with the Chargers. It's
Or Sirianni loses, gets fired, Harbaugh goes to Philly.
well another.
How about that?
All these are all
they would love
rumors,
him
people.
in Philly.
Rumors are Belichick will be signing with a playoff team after the season.
Yeah.
Those two teams could be Tampa Bay or
True.
the Eagles.
Could be,
The Eagles are going to fire Sirianni, get Belichick in.
right?
You know, that's that. Those are the
Listen, aren't they
rumors right
fun?
now.
I don't know. Here's one. You
San
want to talk
Diego
about?
seems like a good place to live,
Yeah,
doesn't
oh
it?
yeah. Maybe it'll warm up Belichick's cold heart. You know,
Not
No,
gonna
see,
happen.
they're in L.A.
They are,
Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
forget.
I know that's what they.
I never refer to them as.
Dan Patrick was
LA.
going. Maybe Harbaugh thinks they're still in San Diego.
Whenever I'm looking at the games, I have to go, LAC, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Chargers. So weird.
So you want to hear a good conspiracy theory you want?
Oh yes, we gotta have them.
It's from our boss. He said the Commanders
Okay.
make a trade
Mm.
with the Steelers for Tomlin.
Really?
He said they got a ton of draft picks.
Wow.
And I'm kind of paraphrasing him right here.
Plus they have the second pick.
Nobody in
Second,
Pittsburgh
third
really
pick.
likes Tomlin.
Second pick in the draft.
Not like him. He hasn't done a lot for them lately.
Well, it's
So-
been clawed at 500
But he's
for many
always
years.
yeah. So he's not like high on the list anymore like he was.
Right.
And he thought that Tomlin would really work in Washington.
I think
He's got that look. He's got that demeanor.
he might. He might.
You know?
And he's young enough, and
That's-
he could bring some fire.
That's I don't remember the last
Yeah.
coach who
You
got
know what?
traded.
That's not a bad theory. I was
Yeah.
thinking he might have had a little too much garlic on his chicken when he was
Last-
talking about that.
The
But
last
it
coach,
sounds like it's a pretty good idea.
I don't know.
the last coach traded was Peyton this year.
Was what?
Peyton,
Peyton?
Sean Peyton.
Oh yeah.
I know. I didn't even know they were traded, but I guess
Yeah.
they are. It's kind of.
They had to give him
interesting.
something because I think he still
Some
had time on his
compensation,
contract.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's it.
I think.
don't know where anyone's going, but it's just
However
kinda
many
fun
weeks
to-
it is
to
before we
guess.
do this again, it could be just one.
Yeah, hopefully we'll know where everybody is. by
Something
then.
Yeah.
wild's going to happen, you know. Or
Right.
it'll just go the other way. Belichick will retire.
Yeah.
Carroll will retire.
Yeah.
And they'll just hire young coordinators.
And then I'll sit at Saban's house go fishing.
Exactly.
All right, here's what Aiden had to say. Hopefully Ron Rivera gets fired, which I think is not far away, he
did.
sent me this before.
He's gone.
Belichick, smart to mutually part ways. I think he goes to Washington. Vrabel, dumbest firing of the season by far. Coach of the year a couple seasons ago, and you fire him for a GM making dumb moves. He's going to the Patriots. Okay, well that
didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Carroll, this one surprised me. I have no idea why the organization would choose this, but I'm not sure what this was all about. I think he retires from coaching. He has said that he wants to stay and coach.
And I don't see him in an advisory role because he's too.
No, like they were talking
hands-on.
about.
He's not going to do that.
I'll see you all. Building secure. And
Okay.
I left the cash in.
I'll let you know. Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're catching up with all the rest of us.
Eventually, I had to rub off.
It's gonna happen.
Tired of being odd man out. I could take down the basement if you want.
You could, but I ain't gonna. That means I gotta go get it.
I'll wait to hear from you in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll know by probably 8 o'clock.
Okay. You guys have a good night.
All right. See you later.
He's got Harbaugh, just won the national championship, so I think he's going to the Chargers. Arthur Smith, good firing. couldn't figure out how to use all the weapons he has
Yeah,
effectively.
he didn't use,
Nobody wants him. Maybe
what's his name,
Vegas.
Mustardson, or what was his name? BJ?
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan
Yeah,
Robinson, Mustardson. That was the name.
That was the-
That was our guy that
In
in
our
our pool. Mustardson.
He
I
goes-
think
he
Vrabel.
goes,
Bijan Mustardson.
Vrabel's going to Seattle. I could see that.
Vrabel could go to Seattle.
I could see that. He could fit in there.
That could
Man.
be a good spot for
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
then he finishes. Nobody wants him. Talk about Arthur Smith. Maybe Vegas. They love hiring bad coaches.
Yeah,
and
what
then
about
firing
Vegas?
them,
What about
which is
Vegas?
which is true.
We
They
haven't
do.
even touched on Vegas because it's almost like an assumption that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Harbaugh could
that
go there.
Pierce is going to stay on.
Yeah, if they don't, Harbaugh possibly.
Yeah.
Could see Harbaugh going there. Yeah.
Brandon Staley firing of the year.
He doesn't get another job as a
No.
head coach.
This was the best
At least
decision
not this
possible. Chargers looked awful.
They
until
kept
after
him on a
impressing
long time
everybody the
for-
last 2 years.
year. Average
They have
player.
him going to the Titans.
Who?
It's Brandon Staley.
Really?
Now,
No.
I heard if the Packers get rid of their DC,
Joe Barry. That's not happening.
that
Not happening.
that's a no, that they've worked together before. So I think that maybe bringing Staley to be the defensive coordinator might make everybody happy.
Maybe, but
So
Joe Barry's keeping his job because the Packers are now in the playoffs,
yeah, that's the sad
and
part
he's gonna
about all
keep
this.
his job.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to see a change. I know a lot of Packer
Love
fans
to
would like to
see
see
a
a change
Hmm.
at defense. So, and don't forget, some of those guys may move. Like Carroll won't go be a coordinator again, but some of those guys do that.
Oh, they do. No question. They go
Just to
back
stay
to
in
where
the
they're
game.
strongest.
Yeah, if they were
Plus, it pays better than a normal job. for
if they were
sure.
OCs or DCs, they'll go back there somewhere.
Kellen Moore,
Mhm.
Dallas to the OC in Los Angeles Chargers now.
Yeah. Okay. And now we're gonna end it on a lighter note.
Okay.
Cooper and I had this discussion when they were talking about, somebody was talking about LT,
Hmm.
and they were like LaDainian Thomas.
No, Lawrence Taylor.
I agree. And I said, why are these lazy announcers, sportscasters, whoever,
They don't do their homework.
they just give people initials for their,
No.
there's no any real cool nicknames anymore.
No nicknames. Okay.
And I was like, there's a lot of really cool
Like the Pittsburgh bus.
football. Well,
There's one.
he's on my list. We'll
Oh,
get-
sorry,
I got
I'm
a whole
jumping the
list of
gun
them.
here.
But it's like oh, we'll just call it like KD in basketball, or
Oh yeah.
CL and MS.
A lot of
and
it's
it's like
Michael became Jordan, even though Michael's one of the most common names
Yeah.
in the world.
yeah,
But he was, and it's that like LeBron's LeBron.
and he was MJ,
well, that's true.
but before he was MJ,
yeah,
he was Air.
yeah, that's true.
Air
Air's a
Jordan.
cool.
Right, and I didn't
Cool
count
nickname.
any basketball ones.
No, yeah, okay. So you're
I
talking
will
just
do that
football?
during basketball season.
So football.
It is
So-
basketball.
So no,
It's kind of basketball.
Well,
the
yeah.
games count.
In the NBA, the big tourney is over. I don't. But in college, the conference games are just heating up. So,
That's right.
but so here I asked Aiden gave me some, and again these are going to be generational.
No, let's hear him.
Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a nickname. You tell me who they are.
I mean, that's okay.
Okay.
Oh, easy.
Who's Megatron?
Calvin Johnson.
He's jacked. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
All right. Beast mode.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, there you go. I wouldn't have got that one either. I can't remember those.
Well, prime time.
Dion.
He was Neon before prime
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Who
That's
is
a
going to
great
take
one.
the Alabama job?
No, he's not.
Oh, listen to this.
A lot of people want him taking that
No,
job.
nobody wants.
Stephen
Nobody.
Stephen A.
Well,
Smith
that
wants him
tells
to take that job.
That tells you that
Here we
type
go.
of person.
Here we go.
He wants him to take it because they do commercials together.
Yeah.
Him and
Affleck.
Yeah. Matty Ice.
Daddy Ice. That's Matt Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan.
Very good. TB12.
Tom Brady.
Tom.
Yeah. So those are some that, and I'm talking nicknames. I happen to look up a few.
Okay.
All right. I'll give you the nickname. You tell me if you know who we are, and then we're gonna pick the best one. Some of these are kind of hard to do, so we'll just go. Well, you can't even do that one
No.
because his name is in the
Oh.
his name is in the nickname.
Yeah.
Revis Island. Who was that?
Darrell Revis.
Darrell Revis, the cornerback. Now, I like that one because he was like
He was
an
on an
island.
island,
I like that one. Iron Mike.
That was Tyson.
No,
No?
no. It's way before Tyson.
Oh.
Ditka.
Oh, well, yeah. That's before my time.
So
I didn't see. I think I might have seen a little of
I
it.
barely remember him playing, but he was playing with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Too tall.
Jones.
Yep.
Dallas
Cooper's
receiver.
not gonna know any of these.
Yeah.
No,
That
he's
one
a
I know.
defensive end.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Uh,
He was like 6'8" though.
yeah. Deacon.
Jones.
Deacon Jones.
Rams.
Do you know his first name?
Defensive line. Marvin.
David. White Shoes.
Oh, Billy White Shoes Johnson.
There you go.
Punt returner, kickoff returner for Houston.
Yep.
Now you're in my world.
And I'll go pre you.
Oh no.
The Galloping Ghost.
Oh, Paul Hornung.
No. Way back.
Well, he's pretty way back. Back before that.
Red Grange.
Oh, jeez.
You had two nicknames. Red, I'm sure, wasn't his given name.
Red.
Right? Am I right? The
Galloping
Galloping
Red.
Ghost was Red Grange.
Red the Galloper.
Please tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Night Train. That's a nickname, man.
Night Train.
He's the Night Train. Dick Night Train Lane.
Yeah, Dick Lane.
I think he played for the Cowboys.
Okay.
The Minister of Defense.
Or Steelers, wasn't he? Night Train Lane, wasn't he?
Oh no, I think he played for the Lions. I'm sorry.
Minister of Defense.
Who were the
you
purple
Reg.
people eaters?
I want to get to those too.
So you have that one now?
Well, no, I just have. I want to do team ones. Too.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Still
who?
individual.
Reggie White, Minister of Defense.
Oh, Minister of Defense. That's funny.
Sweetness.
Walter Payton.
That's right.
Okay, and I'll give you a.
Good for you. I'm impressed by that one.
How about we go the Kansas Comet?
I got no shot at that one.
Gail Sayers.
Gale Sayers.
The Bus.
I threw that
Jerome.
one. I threw you under the bus on that one.
Broadway Joe.
Nail it. Easy.
Mean Joe.
Green.
One of my favorites. And I'll give you a clue. His son plays in the league. Ironhead.
Ironhead.
That's a nickname, man.
Jeez.
You're called Ironhead.
Either you're just tough or you're stupid. One of the two.
Right.
Or both.
Ironhead Hayward. Craig Hayward. Don't you remember he was a running back? I think he.
Yeah, barely.
I want to say he went to Pitt.
Okay. Where are you coming up with
Cam
all this?
Hayward is his son.
Oh, and
this-
he's got two children.
Yeah.
Cam and
They both play for the Steelers,
they both
right?
play for the
Yeah.
Steelers.
So you were there?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, Ironhead Hayward. He
Played for Atlanta. He passed
yes,
away.
he passed away. He had like brain cancer
Oh,
or something. Now those are nicknames,
yeah.
not just initials.
I'll give you one more nickname, and it's probably the hottest nickname in the NFL right now.
Okay.
Tommy Cutlets. That's a nickname.
That's a great one.
That's a nickname.
That's
a great one.
Tommy
one.
DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
See, those are people. Those are nicknames that we can't just call people by their initials. I like Ironhead. My favorite. Oh, I didn't see this one either. This is my favorite because it describes the person perfectly. The Fridge.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know his name.
Perry.
William Perry.
William Perry.
William Perry, the fridge.
Yeah.
Come on, the guy was huge.
Huge. And he didn't have any
You know?
teeth. He had like 3 teeth.
Send in the fridge. Chicago Bears would run that play.
Yeah.
And the one I do want to say is, and I'm sure somebody else had this nickname before. My daughter went to school at Bridgewater College, and the guy on their football team was nicknamed Snacks because he was huge.
Snacks. He ate snacks all the time.
Yeah, he was huge, like a defensive lineman. That's a nickname, man. Hey, Snacks. You know, that's
Oh,
what you
man.
want to see.
Awesome.
And I did think there aren't any more. Are there team nicknames? Like you said,
Purple People Eaters,
Purple
the
People
greatest
Eaters?
show on turf.
Legion
Yeah.
of Doom.
Legion of Doom, yeah.
Or the
Legion of Boom.
Legion
Boom.
of Boom, yeah.
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 The Iron Curtain or
Steel
Steel
Curtain.
Curtain.
Steel Curtain.
The,
Mostly defensive
Yeah.
lines.
the Redskins.
The
back
Hogs.
when
The
they-
Hogs.
yeah.
Their offensive line.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there've been
Gang Green for
Gang
the
Green
Jets.
for the
Yeah.
Jets.
When they had Klecko and
Yeah.
Yep.
there've been a
Gastineau.
few good names over the years.
yeah, you kind of like those names.
Yeah. Yeah, and for the team side of it, you don't hear a lot of that now.
Yeah, because there's not a lot like British on Turf was an offensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Team
Kurt Warner.
name.
the-
Yeah.
The Browns have one. I think
The Rams.
the mistake by the lake.
No, that was their stadium. That was the stadium.
by the lake.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
my,
happened
that's
to
a
play
good
there.
one.
Yeah, that's when they tore that thing down, put another one right
Yeah.
next to the lake.
Yeah.
So there's our team, our nicknames, our personal nicknames.
Uh-huh.
I find the fridge being the best descriptive nickname there is.
Yeah. No, the
I like
fridge
that.
brings a.
And I like Ironhead. Oh, and there's one more I forgot. And I like Ironhead. I love that.
That's my favorite so far.
Um,
There it is.
And this one is so fitting. The Nigerian Nightmare.
Oof.
Do you remember him?
No.
Running back, Kansas City,
Whew. No, I don't.
Christian Okoye.
Oh, wow. Oh. I don't. I mean, the name rings a little bit of a bell. But
And it just
Nigerian Nightmare? Wow.
oh yeah, because he came over from Nigeria and he was a soccer player,
Okay.
and then he was huge.
Yeah.
And they talked to him. He went to Azusa Pacific.
Oh, wow.
Azusa Pacific. I saw something on a shorts or some reels or something about him, and it just kind of hit me that oh yeah, now I remember him. But interesting story. So
That's a little footnote.
Yeah.
It's a small one there.
I hope we didn't bore you because we had fun.
We had fun.
We probably went longer than we should have.
It's wintertime.
Hey,
This
what
is
the
like,
heck?
you know, the outlet right now.
Sit around talking sports. We like
Normally
to
I'm
do
like,
it.
I'm tired.
Yeah. So
Breaking news out of
Cooper's breaking news.
Mm-mm.
we have a new coaching announcement out of Alabama.
Mm.
They get the guy from Washington,
They sure did.
DeBoer.
Yep,
Wow.
they sure did.
They
Does he
hired
have-
DeBoer.
Yep.
Does he have any ties
I don't
to
know.
Alabama?
I don't know.
Wow.
That was fast.
And
It was
he
fast.
came from a small school too to get to Washington.
Did he?
Like, yeah, I don't know much about him, but I thought they said he came from a smaller division school.
Yeah.
So, wow. Well, good for them.
See, these are the things that are going to happen,
It's-
and those big names are going to
It's-
end up retired.
Yep.
It's hard to fill. It's hard to be the guy who replaces the legend.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's all.
The one after that is where you want to go.
That's right. You want to be the one after. So
Exactly.
anyway,
All right.
We're
Well, I
all-
hope your light's still blinking.
well, so do I. The battery. We're all legends here. So
We're all legends. That's right.
all right.
We got Coop.
Yeah.
There's a nickname.
There you go.
That's just my name.
Oh
Come
well,
on.
whatever.
Until next time. I'm Gary.
I'm Jack.
I'm Cooper.
We will see you again shortly. Take care, everybody.
Happy playoffs.